Why the Paladin's still here? I don't know. Oh.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and they can't keep getting away with it. Paladin is again. It didn't take very long, did it, after like the latest balance patch before the mini set came out. We got one mini set, and we take a look at the meta. Paladin, at least across all ranks, is absolutely taken over. We're going to talk about what's going on in the meta and just everything that's developed over the first like week or so, or less than a week, of how things are going, and talk about what's been irking me or irking you guys and all that good stuff. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, do you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps us out a lot. So yeah, you look across all ranks, it doesn't look that great. You'll note Warlock and Rogue, I'll put this tweet up, it was like a day ago. It was just Druid and Paladin above 50% for a little bit. Warlock has moved up because people are playing the Barrel of Sludge deck that I will feature later today in the gameplay video. We're going to do another one, so stay tuned for that. As well as Rogue got Velrock unbugged and back to normal, and Rogue is arguably the best deck again at High Legend. That's what most people are playing again. People have hit rank 1 again, and we're still waiting for that Velrock nerf, which feels like it's been forever. And you can see, you know, the bottom 3 classes in particular doing pretty bad. Priest, Mage, but again, we'll take a look at the top meta. Again, Demon Hunter, Aggro DH is still really good. Sharpshooter is still really good. It feels like we're back to pre-mini set with just a couple of changes, which is mostly just Paladin being busted. Meta Diamond through Legend. This is Diamond through Legend the last 3 days. So basically most of the time the mini set's been out, you can see that, yeah, Mining Paladin, the new Paladin deck out there, it is the top win rate deck, and we'll take a look in the collection later what that all entails. But Treant Druid still way up there because that deck hasn't been nerfed. Sludge Warlock again, tuned in later. We'll have some barrel sludges we'll show off. And Plague Deathite, for the first time I think I've ever seen, is a tier 1 deck, mainly because of how hard it counters the decks that people are really liking to play, which is Reno Warrior. And you're gonna be like, oh, brand's broken. Wait till you look at the numbers on Highlander Warrior, and we'll see about that. You're gonna see this is a very aggro meta right now, right? The top 4 decks are either aggressive or like mid-range aggressive. And then we have Aggro Paladin right up there as well. Arcane Hunter is an aggressive deck. Highlander Hunter is always up there, yet I never see it. Aggro Demon Hunter, again, the deck I was talking about. Demon Hunter struggles, but it's not this deck. This deck's always busted with Sharpshooter. People just don't like playing it, and I don't blame them. I can't stand facing it, but yeah, the whole Sharpshooter thing. Earthen Paladin is pretty aggressive. Mill Druid is actually playable, which is like, it's funny, the new stuff that's popped up is just awful. Like, I don't want to face it, and then the old stuff is like, I'm sick of it and I don't want to face it. I don't love playing standard these days, let's put it that much. Rainbow DK is apparently playable, but this is Diamond through Legend. But I will mention, even with like all the complaints about Reno and Reno Warrior, brand being too good, right? Where's Highlander Warrior? It's all the way down here at tier 3, and it only gets worse as you move up the ranks. If we look at the Legend, you'll note Mining Paladin not number 1 there. We get some more diversity. Treant Druid and Sludge Warlock, it's the same decks, just a slightly different order. But if you look for Highlander Warrior, I think it's even lower. It's like, where am I? Did I miss it? I must have missed, yeah. It's 47%. Like, it's a deck that's not even doing great. I think Vicious Syndicate had their podcast and basically said it's not a very good deck. It's so easily counterable, and when like Plague DK is good, and these aggressive decks just kill you before you can even do anything, and a deck like Sludge Warlock just farms you, it's pretty rough. And if we take a look at top 1000 Legend, it's a little bit of a different story, where Paladin always seems to fall off at high ranks. There was that one period before where Worlds happened that, no, Paladin was like the best thing, period, at high ranks. But there, the top deck is Aggro Demon Hunter. You can see why I'm annoyed. The Sharpshooter thing, Mining Rogue already back to being like the best deck. Plague Death Knight, and then you got Treant Druid. So 2 of the 4 are like the top at like all ranks. So I feel like we need that major balance patch that we've been waiting for quite a while, like over a month, where this is not, to me, a very appealing meta of like pure aggro, non-interactive, like, you know, OTK stuff from like aggro Demon Hunter, infinite random crap from Rogue, plagues. I don't think not much people love getting their stuff plagued, and I hear complaints about Treants all the time. And then your other top decks like Sludge Warlock, which kills you from mid-hand all the time, Mill Druid, which is like one of the most toxic play patterns because of that card, Due Process, and then the new Mining Paladin and all that. So it's kind of a mess. I'm not enjoying Standard that much. I haven't actually complained about Standard in a while, but lately I just, even recording for the gameplay video I'm doing later today, it was a struggle because most of the games just feel like non-games. Like I either get murdered fast or scammed or whatever. It just doesn't feel like a lot of great stuff. And again, Highlander Warrior with Bran, one of the worst performing decks at top 1000 Legend. Like as much as I see complaints about it on Reddit or people losing their minds over it, it's not a top performing deck literally at any rank. It's just there. People want to play it because it's something new and cool, but it's not super powerful. And I'll just say with the one thing about Highlander Warrior, I like the deck outside of this card, Astalor, because then it just, yeah, I just deal a billion damage and the game's over. I don't find that really fun. Bran Astalor, we've been down that road. We don't need to keep going down that. But right now, it's, again, I think the play rate on the deck will continue to drop as it's not super, you know, doing super well. But if you look at meta popularity, it is at the moment still the most popular deck at all ranks, right? It's not performing well anywhere, but it's the most popular deck, so it's also the most targeted deck, and because it's easy to target, that also hurts its win rate significantly. So it's probably looking a bit worse than it is, but at the end of the day, it doesn't seem to be this uber crazy deck, whereas Paladin does seem pretty darn nuts. So what has put Paladin over the top? Why is it yet again, the best class in the game? What is going on? You'll note that it doesn't run that many new cards. This is, I think, Funky Monkey's list that's been really popularized, where you do have a couple new cards, but they're really what does break it. It really does come down to it. Like, all these cards existed for the most part before. If you're looking at the Excavate reward as the reason why Paladin's broken, it really isn't. I rarely ever see this card come down. It's not even about getting the reward, the Azurite Dragon that buffs everything up. Like, this card came out, this reward came out like 3 years ago or something to be broken, right? A mass board buff, deck buff, hand buff like that. It's crazy. And it's not really the thing that people, you never really hear people talk about it. It really comes down to two new cards that are just outright ridiculous. First is Sir Finley, the Intrepid, a one-sided mass polymorph. This is such an insane tool for an aggressive deck to have because, well, you know, they're trying to fed themselves with some type of minions, anything like that. You just blow it out. They turn into Murlocs. You either can trade in and kill them or just murder them, right? There's no taunt. There's no really a threat there. They're just poor, innocent little tiny fins. So this card has really put it over the top. But the main thing that I just don't understand why this card was given to Paladin. I think it's the worst possible class to ever give Shroomskavate. They give a minion Wind Fury and Divine Shield, Excavate a Treasure. The Excavate a Treasure is barely relevant, right, to the card. It's not super relevant. It's giving access to Wind Fury to Paladin. The last time Paladin had access to Wind Fury reliably was Battlemaster, right? That card. And it was Paladin that broke it because they're the best at buffing their minions for dirt cheap. And they had to nerf it to 6 mana, where it still saw play in Paladin, by the way, but it was a bit more under control. And now they have a much cheaper option. Sure, it only hits 1 minion, but the game has even evolved more since then. That now we have access to cards like Garden's Grace for 0 mana. It doesn't take that long when you have one of the best cards out there in Boogie Down. Amplifying that, you play Garden's Grace and boom, you're just dead. And if you're trying to protect yourself against minions, then you know, Sir Finley comes down. So this is a type of deck with the Wind Fury package with Garden's Grace that just punishes like any non-optimized deck so hard that you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And they already have good early game. They have a lot of, you know, Hi-Ho Silverwing's a great card, but you got the Boogie Down curve into your Excavate cards, into your, you know, Keeper Strength, where you be aggressive, clear the board. This is 0 mana mana with Wind Fury, you see how it's been put over the top. So Paladin, if you're wondering, why am I dying to it? Is it really busted again? Yeah, it is. And like there's other meta problems we'll probably talk about another day, the issue that keeps popping up with Druid in particular, like Shadow Reflections right now. But right now, it just feels like we're going to be getting the lower ranks are going to be complaining about Paladin like crazy. And the higher ranks where Thief Rogue is back to being broken, you're going to see tweets about Velorok. Can we rebug it? Like I said, in response to Clark's tweet about, you know, it just makes the ladder frustrating. I feel like right now, standard ladder is in a position where the high legend players are not happy, and the lower ranked players aren't going to be thrilled either, as there's just not a lot of agency in Hearthstone when you're either losing the 3-mana 3/6 charge minions or, you know, insane Wind Fury attacks from Paladin. So that's kind of our little meta update report. We see the cards that are a little bit crazy that probably needs to get dialed down. I just don't get why they gave Wind Fury to Paladin. I just think that is such a crazy oversight to me that we'll see how it plays out. But let me know how you guys are feeling about the meta in the comments down below, and we'll hit you up tomorrow with hopefully maybe some good news or something, not just, well, you know, broken stuff, but that's kind of what we do around here. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay tuned for that gameplay video later today.